Hello, my lovely students. I warmly welcome you to my class today. In today's class, I will be taking you through Professor Wole Soyinka's The Lion and the Jewel. In this class, we will be looking at the plot overview of the literary work of arts. Wole Soyinka's work is actually an interesting read, and for our class today, the objective of the lecture would be that at the end of the class, you will all be able to recount the plot structure of the literary work of art. Outside that, you should be able to relate the work to our present day realities. Now, talking about this work, taking us further into this work, we'll be looking at the setting of the work. The work, The Lion and the Jewel, actually is set in the rural village of Ilujinle. Ilujinle is a suburb in the western part of Nigeria. Now, for this work, it is important to understand that one of the major characters is Lakunle and Sidi. The work opens with Lakunle accosting Sidi, asking her some salient questions. Questions as like, why do you have to carry a pail on your head? This resulted to a series of arguments between Lakunle and Sidi. And what is this argument about? It's very obvious that Lakunle wants Sidi to be his bride. But the crux of the matter remains the fact that while Lakunle proposes to Sidi, Sidi, though, accepts to be the wife of Lakunle. Lakunle is not willing to pay the customary bride price. So the bride price actually is a problem between both parties. Now, in Africa, we have a custom and a tradition. Before a man will be able to take a woman home as wife, it's expected that he is to pay the bride price. But in this case, Lakunle does not want to. While they were arguing, her friends came. And what was it all about? To tell her about the stranger and his camera. Sidi was very excited about the stranger because he had snapped some pictures of her. Now, when the friends came and they told her how her pictures are done magazines that have traveled far and near, Sidi was ecstatic about this, considering the fact that her picture adorning these magazines has given her a new status in life. Baroka, as the Baale of Ilujile, was jealous of Sidi, and as a result, he sends his wife Sadiku to go woo Sidi, because Sidi is now the cynosure of all eyes. The meeting degenerated into dispute between both parties. Sadiku tries to make a case for Baroka. Baroka actually is the leader of the Ilujinle people. While Sadiku was trying to make a case, Lakunle on his part counters every moves that Sadiku is projecting on behalf of the husband, Baroka. Lakunle, as far as is concerned, sees Baroka as too old for Sidi, and he made this position known. Now, the issue we should be asking, and the question we should be asking ourselves, is why Sadiku, who happens to be the first wife of the sage himself, is not the one trying to woo another woman for the husband. That's because in Africa, women actually are stooge, as you can see in the life of Sadiku. Now, Sidi bluntly refused to accept Baroka's proposal, which is coming from Sadiku, his wife. As far as she is concerned, Baroka is too old for her. Lakunle was very excited about this whole idea. Sadiku decided to go back to the husband, Baroka, to tell him of how vehemently Sidi has rejected his proposal. Baroka felt spited and he is not happy about this at all. Baroka feels that is a spite on his personality, considering the fact that he is the lion and the ballet of the great Ilujile people. As a result, he had to come up with another witty idea on how to get Sidi. Lakunle, on his part, is seen as the symbol of modernity. The symbol of modernity because to him, the culture of the Ilujian people is barbaric and as such should be jettisoned. Why? Baroka on his part feels that the culture of his people, the tradition of his people needs to be promoted. It is a personification of what tradition is in Ilujinle. Baroka, as we know, is self-centered and deceitful. Like I said, he is a very witty character. And because of this self-centeredness, he decided to come up with a witty idea of how he is going to win Sidi to himself. Baroka, as an individual, tries as much as possible to fight against civilization because as far as he's concerned, when his people are civilized, he's going to drop his popularity amongst his people. That's a singular reason why he rejected modernization in the land of Ilujinle. Now for Sidi, though Sidi is a vain character, she is very resolute and dogged. And we can see this resolute and dogged nature when she bluntly refused Lakunle's proposal by asking him to pay the customary bride price. Now, like I said earlier, the witty nature of Baroka played out when he told his wife that he is now impotent. He did this because he knows quite well that Sadiku is a very loquacious character and at the end of the day will sell out. Sadiku's loquaciousness paid out when she went to tell Sidi all that Baroka the sage had told him, not knowing that it was a trap on the part of Baroka. Now, talking about the Sadiku as a character, she returned to Sidi, told Sidi everything. And Sidi, on his part, was ecstatic about this whole idea. As far as she is concerned, there is a time to hit while the iron is red hot. What then did she do? Baroka is ridiculed by Sidi. As far as Sidi is concerned, Baroka is not a man because he is impotent. Impotent because he will not be able to make her a woman, not knowing that actually it was a trap. And at the end of the day, Baroka took advantage of Sidi and deflowered her. Now, because Sidi has a plan, and what was the plan? So as to bring down the personality of Baroka. She was determined to go see Baroka, but Lakunle on his part sensed that this actually is a trap. And what he did was to convince the pretty Sidi not to embark on that journey. But Sidi was very determined and resolute that she is going to Baroka in order to ridicule him. Eventually, she got to Baroka. She tried to mock Baroka. No, you are not a man. And at the end of the day, Baroka proved her wrong. Sidi is in Baroka's residence. And in Baroka's residence, she was trying everything humanly possible to see that she would discredit Baroka, that he is not the lion and the sage that the people think he is. But alas, at the end of the day, Sidi is rudely shocked. Shocked in the sense that Baroka is as potent as any man can be. He not only showed this, but at the end of the day, he disflowered the pretty Sidi. Sidi had no choice but to bow to Baroka's wit. So when we say Baroka is witty, we are not missing words because this actually played out between is a character with Sidi. Sidi, in shame, left Baroka and went to Lakunle to narrate everything that has transpired between herself and the great lion of Ilujile in the person of Baroka. Lakunle, though his ego has been dropped, but because of his love for Sidi, is still willing to marry Sidi. After all that Sidi told him, he told her that he is still willing to marry her. But Sidi will not hear any of such, as she is determined to get married to Baroka. So as far as she is concerned, it will be a discredit to her personality and her name if she is disflowered by one man and eventually gets married to another. So my dear students, I want to say this work is actually an interesting read, and as such, you must, as a matter of necessity, get a copy and read it. Goodbye.